regular host on this program. Now, this morning we have decided to take it to the next level by bringing in some youngsters to come talk to us about what they are doing regarding business and, of course, regarding the waste management in Edo State. Now, our first speaker is going to be Mr. Charles Imarhiagbe. He's the General Manager, Edo State Waste Management Board. You are welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, madam.
And then we have a young entrepreneur on the program, a lady shoemaker, very pretty Miss Valerie Osawe-Edoh. Valerie, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I think I'll start with Mr. Imarhiagbe. What is your assessment of the state government's policies on youth development and job creation in the last 3.5 years?
I think it's excellent, to be honest. This is why only in recent times, there's been a study in terms of unemployment rates in the country, and where there's a decline nationally, Edo State is on the incline. So what I mean is that the number of the percentage of people who are jobless in the state, rather than increasing, Edo State is decreasing. These things are factual. They're out there. This was not done locally by Edo State. You see, they rated all the states, and I think the result was that Imo was the least, and then that they have the highest unemployment rate in Nigeria currently, Imo State. Rivers State, as big as they are, with all the resources that they have, they are even about third in that log. And then Anambra State happens to be the one with the least unemployment rate. But Edo State is hanging comfortably somewhere in the middle, not even on the half side, before the half. So if you look at that, you cannot tell a story of Edo State in the last 3 years without talking about the efforts the governor has put in place. He came in, he promised that he was going to create 200,000 jobs. People keep misunderstanding this. He did not say I'm going to employ 200 people into civil service. No, creating opportunities is different from employing directly. So that is why the indices are there for anybody to check. So it is, in fact, words are not sufficient for one to really quantify the much this government has done in terms of taking the people out of the street. I can go on in my sector. I can tell you that over 1,300 people have been employed, sweepers, under the current government. These are people who before now were jobless. Are you going to talk about those who are now the contractors taking sweepers' waste? After the sweepers sweep this waste on a daily basis, there are people who take them. Contractors have been employed. And those ones have employed people by themselves who have now taken people off the street. I can go on and on.
Okay, now the percentage that you gave, stating that there has been a drop in the unemployment rate in Edo State. Are you talking about the recent release by the National Bureau of Statistics?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Valerie, what is your own assessment of Mr. Godwin Obaseki's administration in the last 3.5 years?
Okay, well, I would want to agree with what he's saying. Really, I'm a testimony basically because presently I run an office at Edo State Production Centre where I produce leatherworks. I produce slippers and sandals, and I also make school shoes. So being there has been a very, very good advantage to me because my client base have actually increased, and I have more of customer loyalty. Because I'm affiliated with the government, and people now come to my space and say, oh, I want to work with you because you are here. Now there is loyalty, there is trust. So these people want to work with me because of the trust they have for the government and because of my location being at Edo Production Centre. So it has been super amazing. And also the environment has been really comfortable because we now produce even more than what we usually used to produce. For instance, I usually tell my clients I will deliver my products on, let's say, 12 days interval. But now I could boastfully tell them 9 days. And trust me, even before the 9 days, I deliver these products. So really, he is working. That's
Thank you. Now, I'm still going to ask you this question, Valerie. As a young person, what do you make of the government's effort to address the challenges that give rise to illegal migration and human trafficking?
Okay, I'll talk about myself. I would always refer everything to myself.
No problem.
So the government has been able to pull out people from the streets because let's say, for example, I wasn't at Edo Production Centre. I won't be where I am today. I won't even be sitting here. I would probably be somewhere that people would not even want to work with me. But because of the government, I've been here. And also, people come for trainings. I train people. This is picking out people from the street because of where I am. Like, I'm also influencing people through the government. Like, I remember I said something about trust and loyalty. If these people did not have this trust that, oh, iGoldenV Designs is going to do this for this person they are bringing over, then people will still be out there on the streets. I even have to bring in teenagers too, because I believe that you catch them when they're actually young. We don't want them really trained around the streets. So that's it for now.
What about if somebody comes to dangle this carrot, before you to say, okay, I want to take you to Libya. I'm promising you greener pastures where you can make more money. What you are making in Edo State is actually nothing compared to what you are going to be making.
Well, I don't know for those who go to Libya and how they get there. But where I am right now, I am comfortable and I'm happy. Yes, even if I want to even grow bigger and better, but I wouldn't say, oh, someone will come from the blues to tell me, come to Libya, I'll make you better. I don't want to sell my body for money. What I'm doing is giving me money. I'm contented, I'm happy, I'm okay. And with what I'm doing, like I said, I'm also influencing people, which is making me happy. I'm impacting in people, helping people, picking out people from the streets than nothing. So I would not want that carrot. It's going to choke me down my throat.
Thank you. Yes. Now, Mr. Imarhiagbe,
Yes.
I want you to address the efforts made by government to address these challenges that give rise to illegal migration and human trafficking.
Right, thank you very much. On that, you see, apart from the Edo State Task Force Against Human Trafficking, which they are working tirelessly every day and every night, gleaning information, going out there, trying to nip it in the bud among those racketeers that take these people away.
Yeah.
There are local effort by the government to make sure these people that have even returned are engaged meaningfully. You know about the various schemes of empowerment that the government put in place when they brought back some of these Libya returnees. A couple of them were taught different handcrafts. They were put through different sort of trades such that they are empowered by themselves. They now know what to do. They were even given starter packs in some cases. Some of them went into agriculture. You know about the agricultural schemes going in different senatorial districts in the state. You also know about when they were put through, some of them were taught how to do decoration. I'm telling you this because I have some persons that are directly known by me that directly benefited from these schemes. Some of them are into, recycling materials. Some of them were even involved when we brought in some international partners to come and train people in recycling, because we have people that take these plastics. So we have those that are into aggregating. We have them aggregators, we have collectors, and then we have the off-takers. They were trained depending on which group they want to belong to. So there's a lot that the government is doing in this direction. A couple of them have already been engaged, even in production center. Edo Jobs can give you a large profile of a couple of these. Thank you. So I'm sure everything I'm saying, you see, they are already in tandem with what you have already heard. So there's a lot. And apart from engaging these people, the government is also, having a handshake with international partners in such a way that those guys are also trying to close up the loose ends, so that people, there are people over there in some of these countries who are aiders of this wrong racketeering. So when you're able to meet with international communities, meet with the government of those countries, then you can block these loopholes. Are we talking about the alliance with our great Oba, Monoba Nedoko Akbolokbolo? All of these things, trying to make sure that these things don't happen again, because we've earned bad reputation over the past years. Past handlers of government have not really done well in preventing these things. But this man has gone extra mile, meeting every stakeholder. The international community know Mr. Governor for this. So we are now something that we call like first among equals in trying to take examples in fighting this. Because not only are those states that is really hit, but we are in the forefront of fighting this. So everybody now knows we are the flag bearer. And they're coming to learn from us in this direction. So I must give Mr. Governor kudos in this.
Thank you. Now, Imarhiagbe, after schooling in Edo, a lot of young persons believe they have to leave the state to have a good shot at life. Do you think that this scenario is still applicable today? And what are the changes that would make a young person to build a life in Edo State of today?
That narrative is changing, and it's changing pretty fast because of the man on the helms of affairs. If you know how it works abroad, when people graduate, there's what they call job centers. I can tell you that much because I've had that experience. There are job centers abroad where once you are looking for a job, you just go there and log on. You register. And then they have your details. They will call you when there's a job. And they call you before you know it. And this is what this man has brought to Edo State. So why would they want to leave? Edo Jobs is what we call job center abroad.
Yes.
So you just go there, you log in your details, register there with Edo Jobs. Whichever local government you are in, just register. And then they will look for jobs for you. I remember when there was this internship scheme where people registered on Edo Jobs, and then they were sent to, some were sent to government ministries, some were sent to private enterprises. Where they were there, see, the ones, many people after the period of the internship, many of them were retained. The ones that were not retained gained experience that such that they were now employable. Not many of our graduates are employable. So after going to that scheme, they become employable. And then when you look at these things, you wonder, are we now living abroad? But this is what applies in Edo State. Well, because the government is not a noisy type, people don't get to hear these things. If it was the kind of government that just do sometimes begin to blow it, no, he feels that it's not everything you spend taxpayers' money publicizing. When there are natural things, there are things that naturally we earn as individuals, as citizens. So when the man does these things and then people say he's not doing anything, then I begin to wonder, what is nothing? When you are saying so much, you call it nothing. Then we have to check the dictionary of what they mean by nothing. So just to answer your question, yes, things have changed. People now know that when they graduate, they have places they can go to. And you see, it's only in Nigeria that we don't so much value what the internship. In other climes, if you don't do internship, your chances are not as bright as the man that did internship or that did some sort of volunteering. And this is why those jobs also provide for you. So for me, the landscape has totally changed. People now know that when they graduate, they have somewhere they can go to, get registered, and wait for the government to get them jobs, so long as they are qualified. So we must praise Mr. Governor for that.
Thank you. Valerie, as a young person, would you say the government has created a space for youths to find expression and contribute to building a firm economic base in Edo State?
Of course, I would say that Mr. Governor has been working, and a huge percentage of persons I've spoken with over time since I've been in Edo State, that have been working here as an entrepreneur. A lot of them usually say, oh, I got my job from Edo Jobs. And the truth is, it's not about connection now. You earn it and you get it. Yeah. So
you don't need to know anybody else.
Yes, you don't have to know people. Like he said, go to the Edo Jobs site, log down your details, put in your CV, and when there's a job that suits you, you're called for this interview. So now it's not you against your employer. There is no, oh, I know someone that knows someone. No. So really, the government is actually working for the good of the youth, especially.